How money really influences politics and courts. What you need to know. Explore how money impacts politics and the judiciary, shaping laws and justice while uncovering hidden influences and power dynamics. How money shapes our government and courts. What you need to know. You ever stop and think about just how much money really influences politics and the judiciary? I mean, it's one of those topics that sounds kind of dry at first, but once you start looking into it, it's kind of wild and a little alarming. I wanted to break it down for you like I'm chatting with a friend because it's so important we all get why this matters, especially when decisions made at these levels affect just about every part of our lives. Let's start with the government side of things. Now, politicians need funding to run campaigns, right? Ads, staff, travel, it all adds up. The problem is the sources of that funding can influence their decisions once they're elected. Big donors come from various industries like banking, energy, and yes, even pharmaceuticals, which reminds me of how those companies sometimes lobby hard to protect their profits. They want policies that keep their bottom line healthy, sometimes at the expense of public interest. When you hear about government conspiracy theories, often these are sparked by the strange overlaps between money, power, and influence. While many allegations might be untrue, there's little doubt that the sheer volume of cash flowing into political coffers shapes what lawmakers prioritize. Because let's face it, no politician wants to lose support from major donors. Now here's where the judiciary side gets trickier and way less visible to most folks. Courts are supposed to be impartial, right? They're meant to interpret the law fairly and uphold justice. But what happens when money starts to seep into the system here too? Judges in many states are elected, meaning they need campaign funds just like politicians. This can create pressure to appeal to influential donors. Even appointed judges might benefit from networks funded by groups with specific agendas. Big corporations and wealthy individuals often have the resources to hire top legal teams. Their cases get the best representation, and sometimes judges might lean toward decisions that favor those who help keep them in their position. This isn't about calling out every judge or politician as corrupt, far from it. Most public servants aim to do their best. However, the system itself is structured so that those with more financial power have louder voices. It's kind of like a game where the rules say everyone can play, but those with more chips inevitably control the table. Why does this matter to you? Because the interplay of money and influence in politics and the judiciary can affect everything from the laws passed to how they're enforced. It shapes issues like healthcare, criminal justice, environmental regulations, and even how pharmaceutical profits are protected against reform efforts. Have you ever heard of The Ultimate Frame? It's a fantastic novel by Andrew M. Semple that weaves a thrilling story around some of these very themes: power, influence, and secrets behind the scenes of government and justice. If you want to see this complicated topic spun into an engaging narrative, I highly suggest you check it out. Discover this thrilling novel by Andrew M. Semple today. It's a great way to understand these dynamics without the usual jargon. So, what can we do about this? Awareness is the first step. Understanding that there's a strong link between money and influence helps us become better voters and advocates. Supporting transparency initiatives, campaign finance reform, and holding those in power accountable can help level the playing field a bit. At the end of the day, it's about pushing for a system where justice is truly blind and politics serve the people, not just those who can afford a louder voice. I hope this gives you some food for thought next time you hear about political campaigns or court rulings. It's a complex system, but knowing how the pieces fit together is empowering. All right, I'm going to leave you with that, but seriously, do yourself a favor and check out The Ultimate Frame. Having this story as a guide makes understanding this complicated subject surprisingly enjoyable.